Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about the Devil North amplifier. But in this particular case, I'm going to be doing it on my method of how I handle the Devil North, right? And my method of handling Devil North, right, is to use a jail build. And this might not be everybody's cup of tea, using Bull Rush and doing some interesting things, but this is the way I handle the Devil North, and this by far is the most stable way of handling it, really. You can have a really crappy build and it'll work, really. As long as the key thing is really to make sure that your floor launchers are doing really good damage to the smashers, really, and she should be golden, really. Yeah, so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the jail build first, and then I can talk about my own build, because the build over here doesn't really matter too much what you use. The only thing that you should make sure it can do is at least be able to AFK wave 14 on the Devil North, right? So if you can fail AFK wave 14 by yourself, solo difficulty, then you're fine. That's perfectly fine, really, and you have a good enough Devil build, okay? Assuming that you have the base placed over in this spot, right? So you can in this spot. But if it's good enough for that, then it should be good enough in general, all right? But if you don't have it as good, the jail build is where you're really going to be relying on, right? And if you're in a team, then I guess your team can also help you too, all right? So the jail build itself, really, all you essentially is going to be doing is bull rushing all the husks down here, right? So I'll bull rush them, boop, 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 boom. So a bunch of husks come down here, and I come back up here, vroom. And then I have a bunch of, campfires all around here. Maybe I'll put a campfire up here too, right? So there's 7 campfires going off, and I stay in here and start healing up, right? Maybe some husks are going to be bashing the walls because they're after me, because they're assassin husks. And then I come out, from a safe spot, bull rush a bunch, boo, 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 and then bull rush them into here, right? And just repeat the process over and over again until I get like pretty much all the husks in here, right? So essentially I want all the husks down there, and then they're going to be trapped down there. They can't escape, and that's pretty much the goal. All right. So to make sure that I achieve this, what I do, right, is to make sure I have a good jail as well. So this particular jail, right, I think it's like one of the cheaper jails that I use. I don't know if I'll reduce it even more, but essentially the idea is that I launch them into the water, right? Launch most of the husks into the water, and the water acts as a natural slow, and they get launched over here, right? And then they have to make a U-turn all the way around, right? But yeah, that's pretty much the jail build over there. Once I get all of them over here, and then I put wall launchers out there, tar pits, and yeah, you're pretty much good to go, right? And so there's one very important thing to note, probably two actually. So the first thing is that if you are the host, you must stay alive as much as you can throughout the entire duration of this wave, right? You must not die. So if you're the host, do not die on this wave. If you do, what ends up happening is that the husks inside the jail actually start slowly dying. A lot of the husks start slowly dying, and it's because they're actually trying to target you as a player when for some reason they're out of their spawn, right? So they're actually trying to target you instead of the amplifier, right? Which is kind of weird for a lot of them, right? But not all of them. A lot of them still target the amp, but some of them actually change their AI to where they go into assassin type mode, and they go, bang, I want to hit the player. Alright, so you as a host must stay alive, and you as a host must be near your amplifier too. So if there's takers on you, right? There's takers on you. The taker box is a really nice spot to go to, right? So to jump in a taker box, just kind of chill in there, make sure no one's jumping around, and then you're fine, right? You should be fine. Okay, and the second thing to note, that if you are the host, right, and you're the one that's going to be bull rushing them, right, because for example you're playing solo, then you got to be very cautious in how you bull rush them, right? You got to be very cautious and make sure you bull rush them in there, and then you have campfires all around here, right? Heal up. You got to be really extra cautious, right? So it's going to take some skill in order to bull rush, I guess you could say, right? And I guess I can show you a video of how I do it, right? I have a previous video, but I guess I can show you another one, you know, more up to date, you know, with like some more meaner stuff. But yeah, essentially it's going to be the exact same concept as my previous video, right? But it's just that you got to be very careful, right? You got to be very careful to bull rush them, and then stay alive. As well, in order for you to bull rush, you need to have a very high DPI mouse, right? So I have a 6000 DPI mouse that so it turns super fast, and of course you need to have maximum sensitivity all around, right? And once you have those, then you can bull rush very freely, right? But you don't have to have super duper ultra high DPI, right? You can probably just have like, I think 2000 probably would be good enough, really. I think 2000 would be like the, like, you know, minimum requirement, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea of the bull rush, and I can probably I can show you a video of it. All right. So as you can see, I made a triangle piece already, right? So I made a triangle piece, placed the base exactly where I'm showing you, right in the Devil North. All right, I get it. I'll get it. There we go. And yeah, and then we just spam our campfires, right? So I'm going to put down my 120 armor baron. I can see. And just bull rush, and get them in there, get up here, and alright, and then start spamming my campfires, because there's no friggin' way that I'm going to survive without these campfires. And since I'm the host here, and I have to be really, really extra cautious to make sure I stay alive, right? So, and if you don't stay alive, what's going to end up happening is that they're going to despawn, right? So, over here, camp up here a little bit, and then start staying alive. But you know, sometimes it just bursts me down so fast where I just, you know, I just can't do anything about it. Be like, oh no, I'm dying, don't shoot me, ouch, and I'm dead. So if you look closely, you can see some of them are just standing still. They're gonna start, so those guys are standing still, they're gonna start dying, and then it's kind of losing the effectiveness of the jail build. But a lot of them still stay alive, right, which is good, right? But a lot of them are going to be dying, so I didn't want that. So we got to go back and then start bull rushing again, all right? So just see here, bull rush, bull. Yep, there we go, got a good amount, and there's still a decent amount in the jail, so I'm still happy about that. And just keep repeating this process. Make sure try to get up to full health if you can, but in this case, it looks like I just want to be a bit more greedy. Just bull rush them right in. Ooh, I went risky there. All right. Alright, now I think I want to camp up all the way up here. Okay, taking a peek outside. Ooh, hello there. Ouch. And let's see. Oh, there's too many shooting. I'm just gonna not risk it. Alright, just heal up in here. And this is, I think, 2-player difficulty, right? And there's 3 people inside because this noob joined. And right, oh, I see something over here. Looks like I'm going in for the kill. Now, do not ever do this unless you're like really, really confident, because you can see that propane throwing. Be like, nope, I reject you, propane. Don't try to do that though. That's really risky. All right, and just heal up. But as you can see, there's a lot of them already in the jail right now, which is good. Exactly what I want. Oh yeah. And I think pretty much at this point most of them are in the jail, and then I'm just getting up, you know, the little guys here and there, and yeah, this is just like little tiny cleanups. But at this point I can just go ahead and go back to my own base and it should be fine. Let's see, do I get more? Oh, there's a one little guy. Oh, there we go, there's a fatty. I don't like fatties. I want all my fatties in here. But trying to stay alive in here is very difficult. It just takes some practice. And at this point, I think it's good enough, and then I just go back. So, as you can see, nothing made it to the base. I think it's because my buddy over here, Caitlin, she's freezing them all, so that's good. Oh. Well, she's just freezing the smashers, because there's literally nothing really to be scared of, just those smashers. And then we'll just go ahead and shoot them down. Right, there we go. And at this point, it should be like pretty chill. Even if all the smashers get through, there's only smashers, right? They won't damage the amplifier, so it's not really too much of a, not really too much to worry about. Yeah. So at this point, this Devil North would be really easy to deal with because they're all in the jail and there's very low maintenance, right? During the second half, right? Just shoot those smashers. And by the way, this bundle bus, if you have the proper element, does insane damage to these smashers, like absolutely insane damage. Well, in comparison to everything else, I wouldn't say it drops their health down to 0 really fast because, you know, these things are like massive bullet sponges, you could say. But they're probably going to be the best overall weapon to do damage to the elemental smashers if you got the proper element. Ouch. Well, I died at the end. And then they start despawning a little bit slowly, but you know, that's okay because it's at the end of the wave. And that should be it for the jail build really over there. Once we have that jail build set up, right? And you get the idea of how you're gonna bull rush them, and then you can go ahead and start building your amplifier, right? So I actually I would recommend building the jail first. If you're gonna do my build the jail first, then go ahead and figure out what the hell you're gonna do with the Devil North, right? And for my particular setup, I went for somewhat of a balance between working and jail, right? So this is actually a fairly decent working build, right? Where the husks, most of the husks are going to come in from the middle, and I got a 2x2 set up over here with broadsides all around. I didn't put this as a wall dart because I want more damage, and I have floor launchers all the way across, and then each floor launcher I have a wall launcher launching them somewhere, right? And then this is another floor launcher over here, and a floor launcher with timer boxes, right? And these are floor launchers also with timer boxes, right? So overall, they're getting somewhere, right? And then they're launching somewhere, and then they're over here, right? And this is like a very important wall launcher to make sure they launch over here to a different path. And this would always launch them to a different path, cutting here, because this is a diagonal, right? Because this pathway over here is a diagonal, so it's going to cut into a diagonal, whereas here is actually kind of like an L, right? So that's why they always take this path, right? It's the shorter path. Okay, and for the scuffed area, right, so this is a scuffed area, and generally they will not take this route over here because it's a longer path, but if they do, they're going to be greeted by some traps, right? So they're going to have some tar pits, right, with gas traps, and then I guess a little bit of ball darts, but you don't really need them there anyway. But yeah, overall you're going to need to build. This is pretty much the best you can do. You can put floor launchers here, I guess, if you want to. But yeah, you're gonna have to do something against the something from them pathing over here. But because it's a very long U-turn, not many will come over there, right? And another way to prevent them from pathing over here, right, is the smashers. So you can actually negate all smashers pathing here if you place your base here, right? So in order for you to place your base there, you're gonna have to build this additive floor like this with whatever material, and then slowly etch your way in like this, and then place your base like this. Okay, and that's how you're gonna place your base. And once you place it there, no smasher is gonna go over here, and they're all gonna come in here, which is nice, very nice. Another thing too is for this particular pathway, you can either block this off completely with several layers, or do what I do, which is make a pathway so long which they won't want to take anyway. So this is a pathway which is so long they're not going to take, so they don't actually hit these walls and they don't do anything here. In fact, so little husks come here, I can probably remove some of these traps, right? But yeah, I just made the pathway so long that they won't bother to touch the pathway, right? Instead of blocking it off, because I want to actually use these tiles to block off something else, right? So notice these over here, this, and this, right? So they can actually path up here, right? So I have, and in order to prevent them from pathing up there, I have layers. So there's 4 layers for this one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 layers over here, so prevent them from pathing up here, right? You can probably get away with 3. I just chose to be a little bit more overkill with 4. And same thing over here, all 4 layers. So 4 layers there, 4 layers there, 4 layers there. And this would prevent them from hitting those walls, right? Now, because I have the base placement over there, the smashers are actually not going to path under here, right? Which is really nice. So if they don't path under here, then they won't break these 2 tiles, right? But if the smashers do path under there, then they will break these 2 tiles, right? But for Hussy Huss, this would be too long of a pathway, right? And then there's a very, very low likeliness that they would do this super long U-turn. At the same time, we can't block it, right? So you're just going to have to make it longer. So anything on the scuff pathway, you just got to make it longer than the main pathway. And that's pretty much the key to make sure that the Huss don't path on the scuff path, right? Make this as short as possible. Make the other scuff pathway as long as possible. Oh yeah, there's also one more important thing to note, is that all walls must have a health trap on it. So every wall that you think can be touched by a Huss, make sure you get a health trap, health trap, health trap, health trap. Everything has a health trap here, right? A health trap, everything here, except for these walls. I don't have a health trap on this wall because I don't think it's needed. Same thing with that wall. But even my gas traps, I also have health traps here, right? Health traps. And this is just so that I can make sure that 100% that they're not going to break the ceiling, right? So the health traps actually help in pretty much every situation, right? And nature wave is not fun to deal with, so the health trap is actually a really good way to mitigate it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Devil North. You're going to need this block off over here, like this block off over here, to prevent the Huss from going there. I think I have a double layer here, and this over here for the flingers, right? As well, a second layer, which is all across here, and that would be good enough. Right, and that is from the Devil West. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Devil North, really. You can watch some footage of it, how it works and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much how I do it, and this is actually a very, very stable method of doing it. You just jail them in there, and you don't have to worry about anything. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you took something out of it. Go have fun building and bull rushing.